Thompson and Clark hasn't just been paid by the government to spy on Greenpeace and earthquake claimants in Christchurch. Tonight, Checkpoint can reveal the controversial security firm has been also monitoring the activities of another 3 activist groups in Northland, Coromandel and Wellington, and the activities of at least 1 further claimant. Its activities on behalf of the government-owned claim settlement agency, Southern Response, are already the subject of an inquiry by the State Services Commission. The Commission's also been asked to consider whether the Ministry for Business, Innovation and Employment should be included after Greenpeace complained it had been in contact with the firm for many years. Conan Young investigates.
Oil Free Wellington found out it was being watched by Thompson and Clark when it made an official information request for emails from the firm to MB, the government department with oversight of oil and gas exploration and mining. Oil Free Wellington's Francis Mountier says while the exact nature of the security firm's relationship with MB is not revealed in the documents, what is the fact they have a very close working relationship.
MB are in contact by email with Thompson and Clark in such a fashion, like informal, calling each other mate, doing these favours for each other. They are joking and teasing to each other. When somebody at MB resigns, Thompson and Clark is so sorry to hear that, mate. So there's a close working relationship. There's also regular meetings.
MB has admitted to using the firm for security advice on how to deal with protesters at a 2013 petroleum conference, but maintains this was the last time it hired them. The emails released to Oil Free Wellington under the Official Information Act show Thompson and Clark continued after 2013 to provide MB with briefings about protest activity the group was engaging in. The emails cover the group taking to the water in kayaks to stop the oil exploration ship the Amazon Warrior from berthing in Wellington in 2016 and a protest outside a petroleum conference in New Plymouth just last year. For a firm that's not on MB's payroll, it certainly spends a lot of time corresponding with it. Oil Free Wellington received 150 pages of emails between Thompson and Clark and MB relating to it alone. 121 of those pages are redacted. Francis Mountier says another 450 pages relate to other protest groups.
We see in May 2016 Protect Karangahaki, which is a community group in the Coromandel, organised a protest at a drill rig, and as soon as they do that, Thompson and Clark, who are obviously monitoring their social media as well, send an email to MB saying we'd like to get in contact with these Australian companies in the hope that they would hire Thompson and Clark as well.
Miss Mountier says information about an unnamed Northland group was also handed to MB. Asked why it matters if a private company is watching protest groups on Facebook, she says her past experience with Thompson and Clark suggests this may not be all it's doing. In 2008, a protest group she was involved in to stop Solid Energy from developing an open-cast coal mine was infiltrated by an informant paid for by Thompson and Clark on behalf of state-owned Solid Energy.
I have no reason to believe that in the interceding decade they have stopped using those kind of methods, and despite back then both National and Labour said it was unacceptable for a state-owned enterprise to be utilising this private investigation company, we can now see that they are in extensive contact with a range of agencies.
The State Services Commission is already looking at whether Southern Response breached standards of integrity and conduct over its use of Thompson and Clark to monitor Quake claimant Cameron Preston. Mr Preston says he has information the agency spent $170,000 on the firm's services. Tonight, Checkpoint can reveal a second Quake claimant was being watched on behalf of the government agency. The man, who's asked not to be named and who we'll refer to as Brian, says his claim was placed on hold after he received a letter from Southern Response's lawyer pointing to a post he'd made to Facebook. His voice has been obscured.
Well, the general tenor was getting frustrated with them agreeing to a process and then trying to pull out of that process and then looking for other avenues to solve it. And I was searching, just casting a bit of a net out to see if anyone else was in a similar position and wanted to join together and get together some ideas on it.
He subsequently found out the Facebook post was picked up and handed on to Southern Response by Thompson and Clark. He was miffed as to why a firm dealing with security threats was being asked by his insurer to keep an eye on him.
It certainly wasn't a security threat, which is how they've framed the use of that investigating company. would have been seen as them as possibly a litigation threat. Yeah, it was a frustrated public posting, just searching for information, and they could have come back to me and talked to me about it. But instead they took quite a defensive, litigious and almost a bullying approach.
Brian says he's awaiting further information from Southern Response on whether he's been placed on a list by Thompson and Clark of claimants who need to be watched.
When I look back at it, I go, well, they've hired a firm to look for information in response to a security threat, but then they've gathered information on my claim as a part of that, and they're using it in a different way for my claim. And the way they ended up using it was bullying, to send me a noise letter, to effectively try and manage my claim to limit their liability.
Brian has passed his experience on to Doug Martin, who's leading the State Services Commission inquiry. Oil Free Wellington plans to join Greenpeace in asking the inquiry to be expanded to include MBIE's use of Thompson and Clark as well. A spokesperson for the Commission says no decision has been made over whether this will happen. Southern Response and MBIE declined to be interviewed until the outcome of the State Services Commission's inquiry is known. An insight into how close Southern Response was with Thompson and Clark is provided by a testimonial Gavin Clark has typed for Southern Response's former communications manager, Linda Falwasser, in her new role as a consultant. In it, the security company director says he's worked with Ms Falwasser since 2014, when she was with Southern Response and in a, quote, extremely difficult and challenging role due to external pressures placed upon the business. He says he would not hesitate in recommending her as a business advisor. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister, Jacinda Ardern, has warned ministers to make sure government departments are not hiring Thompson and Clark to spy for them. For Checkpoint, ko Konanyang Tēnei.